Hello, everyone, and welcome to Outbuild's 2025 Year in Review. I'm Alex Williamson. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Outbuild. And so I get to show you all around the really cool and exciting major improvements that we've delivered this year and talk with you about what they mean for your teams and your projects and your bottom line. Everything we released this year had a purpose, which is to help construction teams schedule smarter, collaborate better, and stay aligned so that you can keep your projects on track. So, in order to accomplish that, we've focused heavily this year on making Outbuild even easier to use, adding features that automate steps, improve your communication and tracking, and increase the visibility into where your projects stand. And on top of all of that, keep your whole tech stack in sync. So, we'll see a lot on those topics today. Let's dive in and take a look at some of the features that the Outbuild team has delivered this year. One of the most exciting recent launches was Project Hub. This is your new home base for everything that's happening across your entire portfolio. With Outbuild's Project Hub, you no longer have to jump into each project one at a time in order to track down updates. Instead, you have one clean, organized overview of every active project that shows you what's on track and what needs your attention. And therefore, it helps you decide where to focus your time each day. It's built to answer the questions that project leaders ask every day, like how are my projects tracking? Which projects are most at risk of slipping? And what can I do to help move these projects forward today? Behind the scenes, Project Hub is automatically aggregating key schedule health indicators based on real-time inputs on both the schedule and from the field, so you can make faster, more informed decisions with confidence. So let's take a look at Project Hub. Here we are on the new Project Hub, and you'll notice right away that the page has gotten a bit of a refresh and it looks a little bit sleeker. We've also updated the navigation with a new header where you can change organizations and new buttons to toggle between the timeline and the card views. We've also added a new detailed card view, which shows you more project details. So now you can see information like open roadblocks and schedule impact requests, plus a status bar that shows the project progress, and a whole bunch of other new information like the PM, the super, baseline dates, variants, and more. And we are also releasing the ability to filter on some of this information right now, basically. There are also new buttons that enable you to choose whether you want to jump to the schedule or the look ahead. So for those who use the look ahead more, you no longer have to go all the way through the schedule to get there. The timeline view has also been updated with a sleeker interface, and you can easily filter by trade to make sure that you're not stacking anyone up too much on your projects. We've also updated the project creation flow to make it more intuitive to capture more data up front. And this is where you can add some of those new data fields like the project team members. And we've added the ability to import a schedule from outside of Outbuild during that initial project creation. So all of these updates are meant to make your life a little easier and reduce the steps that it takes for you to get to the information that you need so you can just get to work keeping those projects on track. Next, I want to talk about two new features that go hand in hand: schedule impact requests and the schedule change log. Construction schedules evolve, sometimes daily, and that's totally normal and expected. What matters is being able to clearly understand how and why they changed so that you can communicate effectively with your stakeholders. With schedule impact requests, or as we often call them, SIRs, the teams can quickly flag when a change needs to be made to the schedule. Superintendents submit requests directly from the lookahead. PMs or schedulers can review and approve, and then everyone stays aligned on what changed, why the change was made, when it happened, and who approved it. The schedule change log complements this by automatically capturing any adjustments made to the master schedule, giving you a clean chronological record of how the project evolved over time. The value here is enormous. It gives you better communication with owners, a smoother closeout process, a clear narrative of decisions that were made, and a shared understanding of how you got from point A to point B, all without slowing anyone down. These ones are big, so let's also take a look at these ones in action. First, let's pretend I'm a superintendent out in the field using Outbuild on the iPad app. Our original plan to meet the schedule had us finishing the curtain wall glass pane installation by early next week. However, some of the materials have been delayed by a day. So what I can do is go ahead and adjust the overall duration of this task from 5 days to 6 days to reflect the delay. And now you'll notice that red icon that appeared to alert me that this delay has an impact on our master schedule. So when I tap that little icon, I can submit the details about the change and then submit it to the proper PM or reviewer back in the office. And then from the superintendent's perspective, this is all set. The office team has been alerted and it's now in their hands. So let's go see what that looks like back in the office to the PM or whoever the reviewer is going to be. So first of all, this person will get an email notification about that schedule impact request. So I'm not showing that here, but that does happen. And I can also see this icon here on my master schedule on the schedule impact request button. So when I click it, it shows me that schedule impact request that was just submitted. I can see all the details. It's alerting me that this affects the critical path. It shows me the new variants, the new end dates. I can even preview this change live on the schedule and see what the overall impact is going to be. And then when I feel good about understanding the impact of this change, I can go back and either approve it or reject it with just a click. And so this will make the relevant changes to my schedule and also alert the superintendent who submitted the change about the outcome of it. So not only does that improve communication as things unfold, but it's also enabling us to track automatically. So now I have a record of all of those schedule impact requests that have been processed. Plus, the changelog feature gives me a complete history of all the schedule changes, not only due to schedule impact requests, but also due to just general schedule editing and updating. This log is updated every time the schedule is saved, and it shows what changes were made, when, and by whom. So all in all, schedule impact requests and the schedule changelog make it easy to tell the story of how your schedule has evolved over time. Next, I want to talk about moving from the old world of super detailed, complicated schedules into the more modern paradigm where the master schedule stays high level and the detailed planning is owned by the field. One of the biggest pain points that we consistently heard from customers was the challenge of starting with overly detailed schedules, which are often handed down by the pre-con team, and trying to make it work for a leaner workflow where the master schedule can stay somewhat steady and then can actually be used in the field where they can contribute by building the more detailed plans as things evolve. So to solve this, we've added the ability to convert schedule activities into Lookahead tasks. This feature makes it incredibly fast to push detailed items out of the master schedule and onto the Lookahead where they belong. You can select entire groups of activities, preview the change, and then convert everything over to the Lookahead where the field can manage it forward. So the result is a cleaner and more stable master schedule, a more detailed and actionable Lookahead, and a much smoother transition for teams who are adopting Outbuild for the first time or kicking off a project that had an initially complicated schedule. This is the last one that I want to make sure you can see it in action. So let's check that out. You can access the new feature by clicking the button that says Enable Conversion Mode, and this will break your schedule into a color-coded hierarchy that makes it easy for you to decide what you want to move over to the Lookahead. You can select an entire level or select items under a summary activity in order to move them over. To show you how it works, I'll select everything underneath the steel structure activity, and then I can preview how the schedule is going to look after these activities are moved. When I feel good about it, I can apply the change, and all of those selected activities will convert over to Lookahead tasks. So there we go. Let's now go see what happened on the Lookahead. So here you can see all those tasks that I just moved over, and all the detail is preserved. The dates, the duration, if there were progress or hierarchy involved, that would also be preserved if that detail had been present to begin with. And that's all it takes. It's that easy to move the detailed tasks off of the master schedule and onto the Lookahead where the field can manage those forward. All right. For the sake of time and attention spans, I'm not going to keep showing detailed demos of all the next features, but there are definitely quite a few things that deserve an honorable mention here. This year, we launched one of our most requested integrations, which is a direct connection with Autodesk Build. For teams who use Autodesk as their system of record, this integration ensures that the latest Outbuild schedule is always reflected in Autodesk with just a click. So that means no more manual file imports and exports every time something changes, no more worrying that the field and the office are working off of different versions of the schedule. This integration brings consistency, reduces administrative burden, and keeps your tech stack aligned. So if you're an Autodesk Build user, you can set up and start using this integration today. Another way we've improved the ability to share Outbuild schedules with stakeholders is with our P6 import and export functionality. We know that many of you work with partners, clients, or consultants who still live in P6, and that shouldn't stop you from using a more modern and collaborative scheduling tool. So that's why we've added the P6 import and export this year. You can now bring existing P6 schedules directly into Outbuild, or export your Outbuild schedule as a P6 compatible file so that everyone can see it and everyone can stay aligned regardless of their tool preference. And this now includes a new P6 XER format in addition to the existing XML that we have just released because we've heard your feedback that you need the specific XER format in order to work with some of your processes. Of course, the reality is not every stakeholder uses Outbuild or even P6. Some people still rely on PDFs, whether it's trade partners or clients, there are always a few of them. So we've rolled out some PDF export updates this year to make sharing Outbuild schedules that way even easier. You can view the schedule PDF directly from the iPad app, and you can export and share both the schedule and the Lookahead PDF from the iPad app. We've also enabled the ability to better customize the PDF export formatting to make it easier to match your stakeholders' needs. All of this makes it easier to get information into the hands of whoever needs it, even without a login, even if they're not willing to try tech. Beyond the major features that we've covered already, we've also shipped dozens of performance improvements throughout the year. We've made the schedule even faster and easier to use and added features like cloning, bulk actions, and keyboard shortcuts. And we've made the look ahead easier and more intuitive, also with cloning, plus a work breakdown structure hierarchy and greater control over what is going to show up in your look ahead view, both in terms of the activities and the time frame that you're looking at. All of this adds up to a tool that feels lighter, faster, and easier for your teams to adopt day to day. And with that, I guess I flew through this faster than expected. So here is the really exciting stuff. Before we wrap up, I do want to give you a sneak peek at just a couple of the many exciting things that we have coming early next year, because 2026 is going to be a huge year for Outbuild. First of all, Outbuild Pro. This is a new add-on designed for executives and leaders who need higher level visibility into performance across their entire portfolio. At the heart of Outbuild Pro is the executive dashboard. This is a powerful new view that surfaces early warning signs, helps you diagnose issues faster, and highlights where support is needed before performance slips. We're also introducing an AI co-pilot to help leaders anticipate risks and reduce the amount of time they have to spend interpreting reports. The Outbuild AI Copilot will continuously interpret patterns and deliver proactive insights, forecasts, and decision-making guidance, all in plain language. Outbuild Pro will be released to a limited subset of customers in the coming weeks, and it will be available to all of our customers early next year. So if you want to join the waitlist, you can scan this QR code that you see on the slide, and then that way you can be the first to know when Outbuild Pro is available to you. And one other really exciting mention, something that many of you have asked for, we will be releasing brand new iOS and Android apps. So this means that Outbuild will be accessible on any smartphone, not just on iPads, making it easier than ever for field teams to contribute, collaborate, and stay aligned. We are planning to release these apps early in the new year, so stay tuned. Okay, we covered a lot today and quickly. I hope that that was easy to follow along with, but I will wrap it up here. Everything we've built this year and everything coming next year is designed with one goal in mind, which is to help construction teams plan with confidence and execute with precision. So we thank you for being part of the Outbuild community. We're really excited about what's ahead and we're grateful to be building it with you. And for those of you who are totally new to Outbuild, we would love to give you the full tour. So you can request a personalized demo by following this QR code. I hope that that was helpful and informative for all of you. Thank you all so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy all these awesome new features and also what's to come.